But before we get underway, of course, rugby union around the world continues to make a statement of what is so obvious to so many: racism not acceptable in rugby, in sport, or in the world we live in. So then, the capacity of 74,500 people. As I look around, nearly all the seats are filled as they stand now for the anthems. Yeah, huge population of South Africans living, of course, in the United Kingdom. So many of them have made their way to the Principality today, and the anthem so well sung. But speaking of well-sung anthems, listen to this. Doesn't tingle your spine, I dare say you don't have one. A check then on the teams. We'll start with Wales. Carey, Elias and Francis in a front row that will be under huge pressure, you feel today. Rowlands and Beers, so much expected of them in ball carrying in particular. Jenkins, what a story to see him back. Wainwright and Basham make up the back three. Speaking of back threes, Adams, McNichol and Rees-Zammit have a really strong look about them. Jonathan Davies and Tompkins in the centre, and Dan Biggar back, released of course by Northampton to get into the international side this afternoon. Williams continues in the number 9 shirt. And the South African side, well, Ishe, Mbonambi, Kane, are a formidable front three. Well, it's a formidable 8, isn't it? Khaleesi at 6, Vermeulen, who's off to Ulster, of course, and Smith at 7. And they have a back three that have wheels and ability as well. Now, Pimpy, Willemse, Creel really need to be watched. And de Allende provide so much power to get across that gain line in the midfield, and Pollard and Jantjies will pull the strings, and there is loads of ability in what the South Africans, well, the English and the French are calling them finishers. The South Africans call them the bomb squad, and they are something special as a group of 23, and Wales, well, they're going to be tested right across the park. Lugano wears number 13 alongside Damien de Allende, and that is the face of Rhys Carré, 15th international cap. Alongside me, a former Welsh international at 15s and 7s, Philippa Tuddy. And Philippa, what a magnificent atmosphere.
No matter how many times I come to this stadium, it never ceases to amaze me. The atmosphere is incredible here. We've nearly got a full house. Yes, it's raining, but who cares? Let's bring on the rugby.
Paul Williams of New Zealand is our referee. Ollie Hodges, the TMO, no doubt we'll hear from him as the game progresses. Sharp blast of the whistle. We are off and running in the Principality Stadium. Up it goes from Dan Biggar. And South Africa, through Willemse, get their hands on the ball, and you feel they're going to keep their hands on the ball for large parts of play. Well, maybe not in their own half, but definitely, or I should say in the opposition half, but definitely in their own half. It's dangerous to kick it away. And these sort of conditions, well, it's dangerous to try and get underneath it as Rees Zammit comes and proves the point. As the ball drops, but drops backwards, and Wales, well, you feel they've got to get off to a strong start here. Dan Biggar goes to the air as well. And it's taken by Pollard, who's caught in possession, and Wales come pouring in, but it's controlled by the outside half, making his 58th international appearance. Jantjies. This one, you feel, is going to be about territory and about set piece. Still very, very wet underfoot, although, well, you can see it, it's still raining, and when you can see the rain on the monitor, well, you know it's coming down very heavily indeed. Herschel Jantjies goes to the air. Dan Biggar comes from a long way away and does really well. 93rd international cap for Biggar. McNicholl, who was impressive in a disappointing game against New Zealand last week, the fullback for Wales, 12 carries, 114 metres, was standout in the statistics. Biggar. Rees Zammit hit really hard by Damien de Allende. Munster, of course, de Allende. Jantjies. And Willemse off on a little run to see if there's a soft shoulder. It won't get one from Jonathan Davis, but does pop the ball away to de Allende. And it's there for Jantjies once again. And now they bring the big men, but the big men on this occasion are met on the gain line. Big tackle from Wainwright, which really lays down a marker. They're doing it in the 2nd minute. They're going to need to still be doing it in the 80th minute, you feel. Up the ball goes once again. Can be a bit of a lottery when it gets there. Rhys Carré says thank you very much, and sucks possession back for Wales once again. Biggar has a little look up to see how the back three of South Africa are aligned and kicks it long. Willemse has plenty of time. And the ball in play for a long time. Rees Zammit and Williams get themselves on all of the muddle and just about get away with it. McNicholl has a look and gets away from the attempted tackle of Mbonambi. Lots going on, but all between the two 22s right now. Ball in play for a long period of time in this opening 3 minutes. Williams digs it out. Biggar back in the pocket and to the sky once more, where it'll join the wet stuff and come back to earth.
Backwards by Green.
There for de Allende. Jantjies, and once more try and get it moving forward across that gain line, but once more Wales equal to the task defensively.
Not now.
Biggar underneath this one. Now Pimpy was the one who got there. Well presented
Backwards.
just about, but South Africa
Ball's
come
still
through
available.
the middle, and that's legal and okay, says referee Paul
Down now,
Williams.
Green. Use 9.
Ryan Elias on his shoulder. Basham,
Yeah, good work. It's your player. Hold him
Thomas
now.
Williams
Hold him now. Okay, 9. Ball's there. Time to use.
will eventually get it away. He seemed to have got away from that 5 seconds, use it or lose it.
Back by Red.
Back on the Welsh side, a little bit of pace injected by Williams, but runs into a big tackle from De Jager.
Easy now, guys.
Oh, that was risky for a moment. It looked like it might get away from Adam Baird. Long pass, ball is out and can be played, and across comes Nche. But Wales still have the ball, still in play. 4.5 minutes almost gone. South Africa have driven Wales back inside their own 22, but Wales will get the penalty. And at last there's a break in play. Philippa.
Well, my days, I think both teams are going to be feeling that, you know, no matter how fit you are, when it's the start of a test match, you always feel it in the lungs. And 4.5 minutes of continuous play. You have to say it's going to be a kicking battle in this game. I think Wales are going to be backing their wingers, Josh Adams, Louis Rees-Zammit, to get up and challenge. And just during that phase, though, you can't help but feel South Africa did get the better. They chased up really hard on those kicks, and they were really slowing down the rucks. Once or twice, they nearly had a turnover there. So it's certainly an attacking strategy for Wales to go for that kicking game, but it can't be the only thing they're bringing.
Over.
Back on the Welsh side, and Dan Biggar has received a lovely pass and tries to send Josh Adams through the gap. Almost got away there for Wales again, and into a big tackle runs Taine Basham. So impressive against New Zealand last week when Wales were doing a lot of retreating. Ball back from Biggar to McNichol.
Not now.
Should still be there, and he is. Thomas Williams, though, took his eye off it for a moment and almost got taken out of it by Smith. Got the kick away, and the referee will come back and offer the penalty to Wales.
7 Green.
7 Green.
Offside of the ruck.
Smith offside at the last breakdown.
Again, though, another example of the intensity that the Springboks are going to be bringing in and around that ruck area. Wales are going to have to be super quick. If it means that those backs are going to have to get in there and seal over that ball, Dan Biggar, get in there, just secure it. Too many times against New Zealand, players were hanging out and they were being turned over. Everyone's got to get in and secure that ball.
Well, there was a kick from Williams, and that was where the offside occurred. And after all that, we will have the platform for Wales of a line out about 7 meters short of the South African line, and it's with Ryan Elias. And not surprisingly, they go to the front of the line out, and now it's Elias again, and Adams comes pouring off his wing but runs into a huge tackle. Wales starting to go through the gears. Rhys Carré goes, but has Smith got a hold of that? He has. What a turnover from the open side. If you are isolated even slightly, this South African back row will eat you up all day long.
No, just wait. No, it's fine, yeah. Hold the call.
Back with Pollard.
The ball went backwards.
And that exit will be okay from South Africa's perspective, but what about that?
Well, that's exactly what we were just saying then. You know, security in that ruck area, but where it comes from is the dominance in the collision. You just saw there Siya Kolisi just not giving up in the tackle, driving his legs, making sure that Rhys Carré went to ground in a vulnerable position. That then allows Smith to go over and do what he does best.
Appeared in all tests of this year, all 11 of them South Africa has Smith as Wales come again. Josh Adams once more used as the battering ram. With the advantage being played to Wales, so a free play. Another advantage being played for Vermeulen. Furious with the referee or at himself. Out it goes, and it's there for Rees-Zammit, and he steps one, and he steps two, and he's eventually put out just a couple of meters short. But that was terrific from Wales. They took advantage of the advantage, nearly got in the corner.
Absolutely, and it's all the awareness from this man there, Nick Tompkins. He has certainly had his critics. He shines at club level, but he's yet to make that stand on the international field. But having the confidence and the awareness of the space and throwing in a ball like that will certainly give him some credit.
Nice little cameo in all that from Ellis Jenkins, the Cardiff flanker, of course. First start for him in 3 years. His last game actually was for Wales against South Africa in 2018, and Wales won that game by 20 points to 11. In fact, he was man of the match, but suffered such a cruel injury, and here he is back. Referee just explaining to Kolisi the reason for the penalties.
South Africa giving quite a few penalties away, especially in their half, and at the moment you have to say that's kind of what's keeping Wales in there. Now they are making the most of it, but really South Africa need to straighten that up.
Yeah, it's 3 penalties in the opening 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Turn around. Yeah, just don't be holding players afterwards at the ruck time, okay?
Over it goes from Dan Biggar, and Wales have the early lead, a little early lead that will give them encouragement, because coming into this one, you felt after what happened last week against New Zealand, and with the disruption in the team, with all the injuries, with players coming back, if South Africa got out to an early lead here, it was going to prove to be a very difficult afternoon.
Certainly, and when the likes of Alan Wynne-Jones, their captain, their talisman, we know now he's going to be out for some time. You can only imagine how much that affected the camp, but we are seeing a reaction here today.
Well, like I said, 10 minutes won't do it against the world champions. It's going to have to be for the full 80. That's a lovely kick, really lovely from Yankees, but we'll go back for a penalty. And the penalty's against Taine Basham.
Seven, always advancing from the kick. Offside.
It's a soft one as well.
Oh, correction, 6.
Okay, it's
6.
not Taine Basham, it's Ellis Jenkins.
Good work, mate.
Yeah, as you mentioned there with Ellis Jenkins, incredible comeback. There were times where he actually thought his rugby career was over. It's been a long, long time coming, but so good to see him back in a red jersey.
Yeah, excellent, mate.
Got back this season with Cardiff, been performing really well.
So then, a chance for Andre Pollard to tie it up a couple of moments after Wales took the lead. 568 international points from the boot of Pollard. And up go the flags, and there's another 3 of that now. What, 571 points, 6 of those are tries, all the rest from the booties. Absolutely reliable. It's 3 points apiece in the Principality.
Yeah, and they're the right decisions for both sides, but I do hope that this game comes down to tries scored rather than, you know, as we saw in that World Cup semi-final, the only real difference between the team was that one extra penalty that South Africa got. So I really hope both teams have still come with the ambition to play.
Absolutely, no doubt about that, but you do feel that the coaches probably had a little look an hour beforehand and went, in those conditions, yeesh, maybe we just play boot and territory. We'll see as the game progresses. Biggar chased by Johnny McNicholl, and it was a really good chase, and Taine Basham was there to get a hold of the ball. Wales have another advantage. McNicholl around the back goes Biggar, and now Jonathan Davis, and outside him is Adams, who steps inside Vermeulen, and on he goes. Adams about 10 metres short now. Back to the 22, crossfield kick. Rizama under advantage. Just couldn't get there. Just couldn't get there. Mapimpi is the man who was in opposition. It's a penalty for Wales, and worryingly for South Africa over on the far side. Willemse is receiving attention, but he's back on his feet and looks like he's going to be okay.
Well, we're wondering if they're going to go for penalties or they're going to try things. Hey, Wales are looking like they're backing themselves, and they are trying things. Pinpoint accurate kick there from Dan Biggar. Just fingertips to it, wasn't it?
Absolutely. We're going to take the first penalty advantage, boys.
Yeah, he had a couple of options. Dan Biggar was just having a little conversation with the officials to see what his options were. Here was the crossfield kick.
It's perfect. Oh, just such a shame there. Louis Rees-Zammit did so well to get into the ball.
Okay.
Just needed to be half a yard further out.
Time off.
And he would have had
We've
it.
just got to get a head check
And
here.
he knows it.
See ya.
And this is where it all
I'm
came
happy
from,
for
that
there to be a
challenge in the air.
contest, but they need to go
Fantastic
straight
chase
for the
up there
ball
from
and
Ellis Jenkins.
Yeah, on those 3 occasions,
You
it's
do
passed.
feel that this
You
is
might
where
want to
Wales
get
are
that
at their
message
most
across, okay?
threatening. Off those kicks, if they can retain the ball, it's almost like open play.
Dan, just play.
Dan Biggar being told that
We're
stop.
just getting that sorted out. Yeah.
And on come the medics from both sides.
Are we okay there,
Quite
guys?
sure why that happened. Willemse
Okay.
has
And
gone.
Dan, it was just back on this
But that
side,
had
mate.
happened before
Thank you.
Biggar had lined
Back
up the
you come,
kick.
back you
He's
come.
gone down the tunnel
Thank
for
you.
a HIA,
Okay.
which you presume
Water
will
carriers
mean
off.
Franz
Off
Steyn
there.
will find his way into the game
Water off.
for a couple of minutes anyway.
Water
We'll
off.
sort
Time's
that out in
gonna
a
go back
moment.
on.
Right now, it's about Dan Biggar and trying to restore that Welsh lead. She's got everything crossed. It should be straightforward for Biggar. Referee wants the medical staff clear once the ball goes live again. Of course, if it came off the post, the game
Okay, time
would
back on.
continue, so the medical staff need to be gone. Rain continues to pour down. Doesn't make a whit of difference to Biggar. Up go the flags. Wales value for their 3-point lead. They lead it by 6 points to 3.
It's very interesting, isn't it? You just feel like both teams are just testing the water, trying one another out. Kicking strategy is going to be input from both teams, but at some point Wales are going to have to front up. They're going to have to use their ball carriers.
Oh, that's a bad error. Under the circumstances, you can see why it happened, but Wainwright, he had it and it slipped through his grasp. Just confirmation that it is Franz Steyn that's come in for Willemse for that HIA.
And this is probably the one thing that Welsh fans will fear, a scrum in the 22, because my days, the South African scrum has been going so well.
I'll stay over here, mate.
We've been
Close
talking
enough
about
for
the
you to see
impact that they have
Yeah,
on the
left
bench,
hand.
that bomb squad. I mean, this is one area where South Africa should feel very confident.
It's going to be really interesting in terms of the way that these front rows approach it. First scrum of the game, Tom Francis, Ryan Elias, Rhys Carey, 6'2", 6'3", 6'2". By comparison, the South Africans, Nyakane, Mbonambi, and Nietzsche, 5'9", 5'9", 5'10". There is a significant height differential in these front rows, and those men, you feel, have got the edge going into it.
They've certainly got the edge, but they've also got the consistency, the amount of time that this pack has been playing together. They know one another inside and out. Whereas unfortunately with the Welsh squad, as we've mentioned, with injuries and things, we've had chops and changes. We haven't got our starting, Ken Owens in at hook. Can't underestimate the impact of him, and we're also missing a bit of weight, the likes of Ross Moriarty, Alan Wynne-Jones.
Herschel Yankees will feed eventually. Let's hope we don't have an afternoon of resetting scrums.
Can I go here and you guys stay that way? Nice. All right, let's go. Just the height. Yeah, okay.
Wungi Mbonambi, 46th international cap for the 30-year-old. Such a powerful scrummaging unit. And of course, behind that front row are the significant presences of Rudi Agger and Eben Etzebeth. And Vermeulen to anchor it out. Yankees gets the ball in South Africa. Move forward. They have the advantage from a powerful, powerful scrum. Creel.
Okay, new advantage, thank you, mate.
Another advantage being played. Second penalty in this passage of play as Etzebeth comes crashing in from a long way away. Dealande, little dink in behind, but Jonathan Davis stuck a boot out and stopped the ball from getting through. Still advantage to South Africa. None coming, and back will go for the penalty.
Very well read there by Jonathan Davis, just to be able to obstruct that ball from going
You've got
through.
the advantage from the scrum, and the back's also up offside. So here, okay, mark right here, mate.
So again, a little bit like Dan Biggar earlier, just a clarification for Pollard that there were two options for where he could take the penalty.
Before the scrum was out,
Slight concern there for who's holding his ribs.
Yeah. We're only offside unless if they breach it, we can come as well.
See, this is the message I need you to understand. Fine. Okay, it's a mirror. So if they come and go back, you must also go back.
So
okay.
Are you going to keep an eye on the attack?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it might have been a bit
Dan
of
Biggar having a little conversation with the referee about subtleties of offside. Andre Pollard, as straightforward as it gets at this level, and success is the inevitable outcome, and 6 points apiece at the Principality Stadium.
Yeah, so Dan Biggar was just questioning when they can move forward from that scrum, and what the referee was explaining is when the scrum actually turns, you need to mimic that by actually retreating so you're on the hindmost foot, because something that Wales are going to be really keen to do is put so much pressure, especially tight through the centres on the defensive line. So Dan Biggar just wants to make sure they know exactly when they can shoot off and try and make a dominant collision.
So then Ryan Elias and Wales as we head towards the end of the first quarter of this game. And that one is knocked backwards by Green, says the referee. Now it makes touch over on the far side. I think Wales are going to get the throw in again, which is a bit of a lucky escape.
It's a very lucky escape, but you know what now, two line-outs, one's been challenged, one, the first one we saw in the 22, was successful, which will be good. A lot of Welsh fans will be sighing a little bit of an early relief there, because the line-out last week against New Zealand was so frustrating. The very few attacking opportunities Wales had were halted by the fact the line-out wasn't functioning, so good to see it working today.
And it's won by Rowlands at the front, and it's with Elias again, and then Josh Adams. Tom Francis goes in to make sure the ball comes back on the Welsh side, which it does, and off goes Wainwright, but that is a big wall of green men who put him to ground. Use the 22 as your guide to the carrying of Wales and the defensive line of South Africa. This time Mumbambe is the man to shut down, and South Africa put the men in over the ball and get the penalty. They take as much pride in their defensive effort. It's almost those sort of turnover wins are celebrated like tries are.
Absolutely. You know, it may sound a bit of a cliche, but I'm telling you, every team will get confidence from their defensive sets. And when you get those turnovers like that, you're putting your body on the line. It massively lifts the team. Great chop tackle. It's all about the first collision, being able to make that dominant collision, putting the opposing player in a more vulnerable position, just makes it so much easier for the rest of the team to come in and try and jackal that ball.
Yeah, and that chop tackle was from that man, Mbonambi, who goes from tackler to thrower. And it's all the way to the hands of De Jager. And now there's an advantage to South Africa because Wales were in too early on him. So the penalty is there as Yankees tries to go around the corner. There's no room there. We'll come back for the penalty.
Early drive. Wait for him to come down. Early drive. Wait for the man to come down.
Referee judging that Lou De Jager was still in the air when Wales tried to get that first momentum onto what they knew was coming, which was the South African maul. And now they find themselves back on their own 5-metre line. Just moments ago, down inside the South African 22. Couldn't take advantage of it. Now South Africa's opportunity.
And that's where, especially a team like Wales, in the position they are at the moment, it is so important to keep ball. There are teams like New Zealand that are almost even more dominant when they don't have the ball, but for Wales, it's all about possession.
De Jager. And now Mbonambi. And now the drive and the power comes on, an advantage being played to South Africa. Wales collapsing that ball. Crossfield from Pollard. Out here is Mapimpi. No one gathers it. We'll go back for the advantage.
Yeah, Wales are struggling at the moment to be able to deal with that maul.
Yeah.
But what a good opportunity, really good awareness there by South Africa to go for that crossfield kick. You know you've got the advantage, it's always worth playing.
Jonathan, we're down the centre of the field. Here we had a penalty for a clear early drive, and now we've got one here for players getting pulled out of the maul, okay? So we need to tidy that area up. No, I think we'll get on with it, You can pass that message on.
Watch the back lift up.
Yeah, sure.
Should stay with to take this game.
Water off, guys.
And I think the key message from the referee there is we're in this area of the field, so it's the fact that they're in the 22. That's when you really don't want to be giving away penalties, because they're going to be looking more cynical. It's just, I think the forwards there potentially panicking a bit. They'll be incredibly aware of the physical dominance of South Africa.
Oh, I was just going to say that. The panic comes from what they know is about to happen next, because as soon as South Africa get that power on, there isn't a pack in world rugby that has found a way to deal with them consistently. You've got to try and stop it at source without giving away a penalty. Mbonambi again to De Jager. There was only one script on that line out. Wales have stopped the first flow, but they're rocking and rolling that power, and Mbonambi breaks away but doesn't get anywhere. Creel is on his shoulder. It's good defensive effort from Wales.
Ball still in.
They've done it legally. Yankees. Inche. Actually, Yankees once more. Ebenetzebeth. De Jager, South Africa. One huge man after another carry, but Wales stick to their task. And it's Jenkins who receives the plaudits for getting his body in there over the ball and turning over possession. Huge moment in the game, you feel.
Absolutely vital. You've got to give credit there to the Welsh forwards earlier on being able to deal with that maul, but look at this body position. Absolutely strong over the ball. Fantastic work from Ellis Jenkins. And when you consider the fact that a massive injury he sustained in the last 20 seconds of the game against South Africa was doing exactly that, it takes some confidence to put your body in that position again.
Oh yeah, all the hours, all the days, all the doubts. Well, it was for moments like that, playing for your country in front of a full house and against the world champions. Any doubts that he may have had, surely not anymore. Well,
yeah,
they were answered in that
stay
moment.
On feet when you go into that contact zone.
Good clearing kick, good clearing penalty. There you see it. De Jager took it in. He was over it so quickly.
Luke, come down. Come down. Come down.
Wayne Pivac absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, that's good and straight for me.
Word from the dressing room. Damien Willemse will not be back, so his HIA replacement, Frans Steyn, is a permanent replacement.
Onside.
Williams sends it high yet again. And Biggar, along with Mapimpi, go up for it, and somehow Smith is the one who secures possession when it looked for all the world like Wales were going to win it. De Jager, carry after carry from that man already.
Okay, we've got a rock.
That one's straight out. Straight out. Ball is kicked outside the 22. We'll go back for a Welsh throw into the line out from where the kick was taken.
And you want to just hear the crowd roar at that, just adding that extra bit of pressure. Yankees normally so reliable with that box kick. It's very much a part of South Africa's game plan, as we always normally see with Faf de Klerk, who unfortunately is still injured with that hip string.
Ask me. Sorry. Over.
Down for Williams and Biggar. And Wales have a little bit of a buzz about them right now. Davis meets Dialende in midfield. Advantage being played again. Not releasing the man. Penalty to Wales, and I'm not surprised the referee with both sides in this zone. No, they won't be allowed to take it quickly.
He knows we're coming back. So Sam, we had the 3 down here for hands past the ball, not supporting body weight. And now we've got this one here for clearly not releasing before getting on the ball, yeah. So now it's just the team warning for the breakdown, okay? I just need that tidied up. Oh, not at the moment. Yeah, and that's why I gave them the warning, yeah.
Well, very clear from the referee. Another one in that area, and someone's going to the bin.
Yeah, and it really is a lot of penalties. On average, you'd expect maybe between 10 to 13 penalties a game. So the fact that we're 26 minutes in and both teams have got 5 and 6 penalties each, that's a lot.
Can you hop off the field, please? Can you get him off the field? Okay, we've got time on here, guys.
So there, you can see where Dan Biggar has been before, the green, and the yellow not far away from that. That's the one that's about to happen. And it will go green, and Wales will have 9 points to South Africa's 6.
Guys, I need stoppage. I just need some of that tape for my earpiece, please.
I'd say Wayne Pivac is happy enough with what he's seen from his side in the opening 27 minutes.
Ball's there, get it used. Holding, guys. Yeah,
Williams navigates his way around the huge arm span of Etzebeth. Vermeulen can't stop it from going in, and that's a good clearing kick from the Welsh scrum half.
It's flapping around. Yeah.
Oh, it's good to see Thomas Williams getting some consistent game time.
Yeah,
Our number 9s have been constantly rotating, even through the World Cup. You've got the likes of Gareth Davis. We even had Lloyd Williams coming in, the old experienced head of Lloyd Williams. But it would be good to see one of the number 9s just getting some consistency. And Thomas Williams certainly looks to be of the favourite.
Yeah, 27th international cap for him today.
Oh.
Lou De Jager, once again, is the target of the man who now has the ball, Mbonambi, South African hooker. And Wales have dealt well with this maul by and large, as I say it and put the commentator's curse on it. It's South Africa who get a bit of momentum. That kick from Yankees is not as far as he would have wanted to, and it bounces somehow in amongst 20 bodies. And then there are people in the wrong place, and the South Africans are the ones that are picked out, and it's a penalty to Wales.
That was a really poor kick. I'm not quite sure what Jankes was thinking there. Yes, the maul had stuttered, so absolutely get it away, but I mean, it would have been more sense to have gone for the corners because the fullback for Wales had come up. So putting that high ball up just sent the ball into where everyone was. It was not going into space, and it was not competitive.
Yeah, I just want a piece ready to go straight on, okay? Don't want to hold things up too much.
There's Duane Vermeulen.
Just keep it dry.
59 international caps now off to Ulster shortly, the 35-year-old. Nice hands from Biggar to Josh Adams. Fell into the tackle of Andre Pollard. Basham.
Advantage.
Ball presented, advantage being played, and Vermeulen just shrugs his shoulders as a referee and says, not me again. Rowlands.
Yeah, you got the advantage. No.
Williams. Elias. Ball squared away from him there. No, says the referee. Narrow side is Williams' choice on this occasion. Rowlands ever willing to carry once more. Ryan Elias likewise. De Jager, or De Jager I should say, is the one that makes the tackle. Williams, Basham, nice angle, good pace. Gets a bit of forward momentum for Wales again. Biggar. Oh, that was close to high. The referee's going to have his TMO have a little look at that while the game goes on. It's ferocious tackling from South Africa. They've forced Wales back a good 7 or 8 meters. Little dink over the top. There's another collision in midfield, and I think the referee is going to have to get a hold of this.
Time off. Slow it down. That's it.
You could see then Jonathan Davis gesturing 3. So what he's basically saying, there was 3 times where South Africa have impeded our attack. Considering the position on the field we are as well, he's really hoping the referee is going to look at this.
Yeah.
I have to say, I was following the ball, and we're going to really need to look at this, as is the referee.
The first being the high tackle by...
I think we need to check the tackle by Green 1, but then Green 1 takes a player off the ball here.
Okay.
Okay, so when
Yeah, sure.
the tackle by Green 1, then definitely...
Yeah.
Andrew Brace has come in to ask Paul Williams to look at something specific, which is
Paul, you want to check the
a tackle
first?
from Green 1.
Yeah.
I presume you want to check whether there's any obstruction after the kick?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, stand by.
Thank you. That tape can come now too, guys.
Calmest man in the room is Paul Williams.
Paul, are you clearly seeing that footage on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's high, there's no doubt about it. The question is, he's following, where is the ball? He's going after the ball, and it's caught on the forearm first. It's going to be really interesting to see people's interpretation of this.
I think the main issue with that is there's absolutely no duck coming from the South African player. He almost stands up into the tackle.
Yes, we're going forward to the obstruction
Yeah,
now.
I'm happy there's no foul play there because Green 1's going for the ball. I just wanted to go to the second piece, please. Jonathan, I need your guys back.
Just queuing it up now, Paul. It's coming on the screen for you now, mate.
Jonathan, I need some space, please.
And again, it's Nche, and again, it's on Tompkins, but that's closing
Just
off
getting
the
the height
gap.
behind for you, Paul.
Deliberate
Just getting the
obstruction.
end-on shot for you.
Thank you.
Bear with us.
Hey, see ya. We just need a bit of space, please, mate. I'll come back to you. Yep, I'll come back to you.
Tompkins going after Bigger's kick, and Nche just turns around. Did he alter his
This is the best
line?
angle,
He
Paul.
doesn't have to get out of the way. The question is, did he walk into the way?
Yeah, you can continue with your same line of running. It's difficult though, isn't it? Because he is turning to go back for the ball.
This is the best one here,
Where are you
mate.
at on it, boys?
Oh,
I've got to say, on both counts, I think it's marginally in South Africa's
Yellow,
favour.
green one. Yeah, okay.
So Nche
Okay,
changes
thanks, Ollie.
angle.
I've got a decision, thanks, mate.
he does change.
Go ahead, mate.
Yeah, look, the first instance by Green 1, we don't believe there's any foul play there because Green 1 is actually reaching up for the ball. The second play, Green 1 clearly takes the red man off the ball. So therefore it is going to be a penalty, and also because of the numbers of penalties, it's going to be a yellow card. Anything more to add there?
No, not for me.
Thank you. So see, we were already down here on a warning. The first one when he's going for the ball, no issue with it. Okay, that's not a high tackle, it's play on. But the second one, he's clearly taken a man off the ball.
You gave him an advantage.
Nah, listen, it's going to be a yellow card, then I'll come back to you, okay?
Well, whether you agree or disagree, the 4 officials have had a really good look at that. They've walked through it. They've made considered decisions, and they're clear in their decision-making process. And at the end of it, Ox Nche is going to the sin bin, and South Africa are down to 14, and Wales have a penalty in front of the post to take a 6-point lead in what has been, that's 8 penalties for South Africa in the opening 30 minutes, 5 from Wales. They're big numbers at this point in the game. The consequence for that man is 10 minutes in the bin.
They really are big numbers, and not something that we're used to seeing really from either team. And when you think about the arm wrestle South Africa were in against New Zealand in their last game, and yet they kept the penalty count down. So this would be very frustrating for the South African management to see.
It's been a dream day in terms of the positioning of the kicks for Dan Bigger so far. They've all been pretty much in front of the posts and close in, and he's slotted them all as you'd expect him to do. 12 points to 6, 31.5 minutes gone, and it's very much game on at the Principality.
It is, and I think Wales' intention of the kicking game, keeping the ball moving, not relying on those just forward carries, one-up runners, is actually doing Wales proud. It's hindering South Africa from getting into the game.
Rob Wainwright takes the ball cleanly this time.
No.
Is targeted again by the restart, but didn't make the same mistake. Knocked back by the substitute Frans Steyn. If you're joining us late, Steyn in for Damien Willemse, who went off with a HIA. Hard to believe that Frans Steyn made his debut all the way back in 2006 against Ireland. And here he is against Wales on his 72nd international cap, 34 years of age now. Yankees goes to the air. That's a better kick from the scrum half. McNicholl came from a good way back and was solid in his claiming. Ryan Elias. Tom Francis, and Wales quite happy just to suck a little bit of the emotion and slow the game down. Take a little bit of a breather from what has been a really physical effort so far.
Tackle! Advantage! 5, slowing the ball down.
Another penalty, this time against Wales. Adam Beard has been singled out for slowing the ball down. Now, a rare opportunity for a three-quarters to get a hold of the ball, and Dialende right through. Yankees on his shoulder. Dialende gets up and then makes sure possession comes back on the South African side. Plays scrum half. And Nyakane, the one to carry. once more, and then Vermeulen.
Okay.
Such a rare thing to see a centre with a little bit of space and ball in hand. Dialende man to make the break. That was Smith who took it. And a little dink in behind, and after it goes Mapimpi, and on it goes, and it bobbles on, and eventually Williams puts his body down and covers the ball, and the majority in the Principality Stadium breathe a huge sigh of relief. Lovely little delicate chip in behind from Pollard. Almost got Mapimpi free.
Time to use.
And Thomas Williams will complete the exit, and play will resume with a South African line out outside the Welsh 22. Good work from the number 9 in defence and with the boot. But what about this? Dialende with a rare break.
Oh, Dialende, he's one of my favourite players. He's so good, and the consistent centre for South Africa. Just every game he'll give you a performance, and unfortunately for South Africa, they haven't been able to get him into the game. That's the first time we've really seen his threat. But moving on from that then, Andre Pollard, great awareness. He could see that the Welsh line was shooting up, and it was a little bit disjointed, which is a perfect opportunity to put through that grubber kick. But like you say, well fielded by the Welsh backs, specifically Thomas Williams.
Jim. Awesome, boss.
Dialende straight down the middle, and he's on his shoulder.
He spots the mismatch there. You had Ryan Elias in the back line trying to defend. Nick Tompkins just shot up a little bit too quick. He sort of left Ryan Elias a bit vulnerable, but still really good awareness there from the centre to pick him off.
Well, South Africa have a real front row problem right now.
Your timing on the charge there, perfect. Thank you.
As the referee has a little word with Etzebeth, and you look back at that moment where it looked like it bounced off every part of Mapimpi's body other than into his hands. They have a problem. Nche, of course, in the bin, and now Nyakane is in all sorts of trouble.
Let's go, Sam. Yeah. Yeah, we've still got time off. Okay, guys,
he is one big human being.
He's the type of guy where you're as interested in his weight and his height as you are just his depth and his width.
It is a remarkable sight up close.
Yeah, good. Hold.
To the maul, South Africa go. Mbonambi at the back. Remember, South Africa down to 14.
Your eyes there, Bracey.
As we head towards the final 5 minutes of the first half, they have advantage. Pollard thought about the kick, thought about the pass, got caught in possession, but they have advantage still, and Smith comes round the corner and he singles out Rowlands, who's equal to the defensive task. We'll go back for the penalty.
Yeah. Time off. Where's one?
One is Rhys Carré.
Jonathan. We spoke about maul infringements down here last time. One's come straight round the side. It's going to be another yellow card.
Well, it's another prop.
Entry at the maul.
In the bin.
Back here.
Rhys Carré makes his way. And Wales will finish out this half and
5, weren't we?
a number of minutes of the second. We're at 14. It's evened it up for the short term anyway, 14 apiece.
One entry.
Yeah, unfortunately, Wales have painted a certain picture to the referee very early on about their ability to deal with the South African maul. And at least we're seeing now consistency in the refereeing, which is what we always want. Repeated infringements in the South African half. The South African player goes. Same now in the Welsh.
Oh, there could be no complaints. Mbonambi and South Africa 7 meters short of the Welsh line. Diaga, was he down? Yes, says the referee. Wales were entitled to repel exactly when they did. Yankees, and then Dialende almost away, but Tompkins held on. Yankees again, there's a momentum about this effort from South Africa. Wales scrambling across to make the tackles and then picking it off. And it's there for McNicholl. In behind the retreating South African defence it goes, but we'll come back. We'll come back for a high tackle.
Just watch that, mate.
Was it on Basham?
High tackle.
Or Jenkins? Well, the crowd, it may be wet, it may be windy, but they are fully engaged in the white heat of the moment.
Yeah. 23, high tackle.
So well read there by Ellis Jenkins. It was only last weekend when intercepts were not being celebrated by the Welsh crowd, but that one there today, God, what a shame they couldn't have made the most from that.
As he passed the ball to McNicholl, it was a high tackle, and the penalty goes to Wales, and we're into the final 3 minutes of the first half.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a really engaging game. Not the highest quality, the conditions have seen to that. It's been a bit of an arm wrestle, but an arm wrestle that you want to keep watching.
And you know what? I actually think the conditions are almost playing into Wales' hands, because they don't want to be playing multi-phase play against this South Africa team. They don't want to have to be carrying up hard against them. Actually, just keeping the ball alive, kicking it up in the air and just seeing what happens is what is keeping Wales in and giving them the lead.
Good. Over.
There's two places in World Rugby you fear getting involved in talking across the singing. One is in the Principality and the other is in Thomond Park. Great voice being raised in the Principality. Stadium, South Africa get it to Dialende again, and he kicks long after it. Once more goes Mapimpi. Across comes Josh Adams. Bigger ran a good line to protect his winger cutting across. And that one is right out of the top drawer from the winger.
What a fantastic kick. I mean, when you say Josh Adams' name, the first thing to come to your head is not going to be his kicking ability. But under so much pressure here, he manages to get a fantastic clearance kick away with a little bit of, shall we call it, support from Dan Biggar.
Smith jogs across to give Mbonambi the call for this line-out. South Africa into the final minute of the first half. They trail by 6. Is there anything for either side before the break?
No, play on there,
referee giving the impression that South Africa might have been trying to milk a penalty there.
Ball's available.
but they still have the ball. That's the crucial part
The
from their
lifters put him
perspective.
there, so it's no penalty.
A little bit of a chat between Vermeulen and Yankees as to what they're going to do.
Tackle! Okay, used now.
Yankees once again. Uri-Samutu had that opportunity in the opening 10 minutes with a crossfield kick that just got away from him, and that probably the closest we've come
Clear left.
to a try for Wales in this first half. Referee clear again.
Last ball in lead.
That's time? Okay. What's that, sorry?
Last ball, was that fine from him?
I'll come to you in a minute. Okay. What are we doing, guys? Shot?
Yeah, referee just
Shot call.
checking to see what
So, see ya.
South Africa wanted to do. He's going to talk to the
That's a
captain
good
now.
picture I want to discuss here. You need to make sure your jumper goes straight up and straight down. I don't want you putting your jumper past, okay? Because then it makes the picture very hard for me to see if the early drive. Do you understand?
Still white side.
Straight up, straight down.
Clear message from the referee to Kolisi and South Africa's pack who were all listening.
Bracey,
Zabat, the
did you
man who's
understand what I was
penalised, you
explaining
can see clearly why
Yeah, cool.
on that
Just the picture
replay.
from my side looked like a clear
And it all adds up to the final kick of the
cross
first
by
half from
Green versus an up and down.
Andre
so
Pollard. It'll be the difference between
Yeah.
South Africa going to the changing room trailing by either 6 or 3. First real tester of a kick
so that was
for
time,
either
wasn't it, Will?
outside half in this first half. On its way, and it's good. It's really good, because that was not straightforward, and Pollard has shortened the gap. Bigger's boot got Wales out to 12. Pollard has 3 of his own. It gives South Africa 9. As I said, a bit of an arm wrestle, but a really engaging one. Half-time at the Principality Stadium. Wales 12, South Africa 9.